It is Sunday, August 13th, and we are on day 27. Last we touched base, we were nailing out the floor plan in our basement of our apartment. We got pretty far, but we ran into some considerations about the kitchen. We got most of the spacing figured for the back half of the bus, but the front half we were heavily contemplating. So, that all being said, we're back here. Nate and I picked up some, what is that type of wood called, babe?
The Eastern Jackson, 5 stripe, 5 layers, 3/4 inch. Not some pretty plywood, but it's structural enough. This goes on the inside of the outside of your house. A lot of times, the sheeting that just gives your whole house rigidity.
And what did we get this immaculate wood for?
Okay.
Come over this way. You're a silhouette in the sunlight.
I might have a video of it already, talking about it.
Yeah.
Just a brief refresher. I'm going to be ripping it down either 2 or 3 inches, haven't quite decided yet. Whole length, and that's going to go laterally inside the bus and get screwed to the ribs. And that's going to give us something to build the walls and the ceiling off of, and breaking up the thermal bridging so that way the insulation isn't wasted.
Right. So instead of trying to anchor our walls and all that crap into the metal, we'll be anchoring it into the wood, which is anchored to the metal.
Yep. So the contact, instead of being metal rib and wood butted up to it,
right,
metal rib and wood spanning it, so the only contact is where the wood's touching, and it's going to be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot less fussing around too, because a lot of people I've seen, which kudos to them, it works out real nice. Just a lot of work is where the ribs are curved at the top. They'll either make templates and they'll saw that out of a 2x or whatever have you, or they'll take chunks of 2x like blocking,
right,
and then they'll just match the curve with their blocks. It's a lot of work. It really helps if you got tight. If you got tight ceiling height, you got to minimize how much you lose. Definitely, that's not a bad way to do it, but I think this way is going to work out a lot easier. And then that'll also give us base, like lapping, so to speak, for us to, like, when we do the tongue and groove on the ceiling, we actually have something we can measure apart how far they are going to be based off of what size tongue and groove we decide to use.
Okay. Came prepared today, so we don't eat entirely like doo-doo. Granted, we still stopped at Burger King, but got a, I forget what this is called, but it's a recipe from Iraq. It's chicken and rice, and I had to make this funky spice blend that smelled like amazing. So we got that. And I cut up a honeydew, made a little peach and blueberry crisp. Yeah, so we're going to be all set today. So we decided we're going to just go ahead and recreate what we made on the basement floor in the bus. That way we can know how far out our floor raise is going to come this way. Because depending on where that happens is where we put the strapping, is what we're going to call it, is strapping. The slats of wood for attaching crap. Oh, it's recording now. Okay, so after farting around with it for a while and dying a little inside, we kind of got the rough idea of the cabinets we're going to use. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so in this area is where we're going to put the wood stove in the cat box. After fussing around with a couple different cabinets and seeing if there was one we could convert, we've kind of just decided that we're just going to build this. This is just going to be something we build. So wood stove will go here, cat box down here, and our cats have a log that they really, really love that we saved to make a drum out of, but didn't ever get around to it. And so they like to lay in it and like have a great time. So we're going to put that there. So this is going to be cat central. Okay, so cat junk over here, wood stove over here. And then this is what we got figured for cabinets. Couch is going to be over here, right behind the driver's seat. We're going to build that. And then here's what we got. 15 inch, 15 inch, 39 inch. We're going to convert this side to have the stove. 9 inch, 30 inch. And this 30 inch, this gap right here is going to be covered. Because right here is where we're going to put the sink, because all the plumbing is going to be in here anyways, because this space right here is the shower. We're axing this. We're axing this. We've decided to, here's the couch. The fridge is going to go on the end of the couch. And that's where we're at so far. Now that we've done this, we farted around with that for a while. It's looking like Nate's going to start ripping down the, we're going to call them straps for ease, ripping down the straps so we can begin putting those in. He's turning green. A little bit of, what are you doing in my swamp, eh? What are you doing in my swamp? Like how I put a little Midwestern flair on the end there.
E.
What are you doing in my swamp, eh? Say it like the most Uper way possible. Here they go.
Are you trespassing in my swamp, eh? Or no?
What are you doing in my swamp, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Them skeeters are gonna get you. You got any bug spray?
You look like you came out here unprepared, you know.
In this part of the country, you gotta use the deep woods. The deep woods off spray. None of that hippy dippy nonsense with the essential oils and the
I'm in here now.
the essential oils and the,
You know that stuff? You know that?
yeah, no, the dew of the universe or whatever they put in those things.
My brother got so high off of those oils off those essentials, you know. Oh yeah. You know, he was tripping onto another planet there. It wasn't a pretty picture. He ended up in prison. He's still serving penitentiary. You got to be careful with that bug spray, you know, because it might not be bug spray. It could just be flower spray, you know.
Yeah, you gotta look out for those essential oils.
Oh yeah. Every time.
It's happening.
Every ain't locked when nobody's around.
So handsome.
50 cents.
I didn't know my roommate would be so attractive. All right, so it is the end of day 27. Yeah, the end of day 27.
It's August 12th.
It's August 13th.
13th.
End of day 27. Today was a lot of configuring with the cabinets and all that. So I figured out the rough layout for the cabinets over here and what we were doing. And we didn't get as much strapping as I think either of us had hoped we would do, but there were reasons for that.
I'm going to be... So I roughed out, 7 pieces. I think I did a few more, but this is what we're putting up. Using the circular saw, or the skill saw. And you can kind of see it went back and forth. I snapped the lines, and the saw blade was just kind of going all sorts of squirrely and screwy. So I'm going to get a new saw blade, but I'm going to borrow her mom and dad's table saw so I can just rip the rest of the pieces down to 2 inch. This is the first layer strapping, The second layer, we're gonna put a strip of construction adhesive and use wood screws to screw it in. It's gonna build this out to 1.25 inches. These are 3/4 inch sheeting pieces, and they'll be really nice to screw into and give us a decent amount of spray foam insulation and give us room to work like in between the metal and the outer face of the wood for like running our wires. The plumbing, still got to figure that out, but that'll probably be going through stud walls like 2x4s.
Yeah. Wherever you see these double lines here is a 4-inch wall.
Yeah, and there's going to be a little bit of fluctuations, but as far as how far over our step up is going to be, our step up is up 14 inches. Now that was from the base floor, so it's about 12 inches from here. Whatever that was, I think it was like 14.5.
Yeah, it was like 14 3/4.
I don't have a tape on me, otherwise I'd quick measure that. And then we'll be able to build this out. Instead of running strapping all the way down, I'm going to be putting a sill plate or like a base plate down, blocking your small little studs and a top plate. And that's just going to run the whole length going this, like to wherever the step up is. And
right here.
I'll be building supports going down the middle or whatever, trusses, floor joists. I don't really know what they'll be called because we're going to be using the infrastructure under like the space underneath for infrastructure. But really liking this. I'm doing 16 on center. So that's going to be pretty consistent, plus the bottom 2 inches of the floor, and then it's going to be 16. 32, 48, whatever. And the top, going past here, we have to figure out how wide our boards are going to be. And I'm going to be spacing off of that. We're going to use that tongue and groove pine board. Those come in pretty long lengths and they're pretty affordable. I like the look, and the fact that it's tongue and groove allows you to have like...
Allows you to bevel it.
Yeah. Like this part... To this part, you don't need a whole lot of it, but that short piece, like that short little stretch where it goes,
yeah, I mean
90 degrees.
Those two little bends need a whole lot of curvature.
Using the 4-inch would be best for that, like the actual 4-inch. But yeah, we'll see what we go with. We can always just space it out and just make it a more uniform curve too. Like I could space that out like 2 inches thick, but we'll see. We got the cupboards, the cabinets laid out as far as like how they're going this way, in what order. We took them out so we have room to keep working here. Figured out just more of like, we knew where the couch was going to be. We're going to be using, you call them a zipper couch?
No, it's
like a slatted pull out.
Yeah, a slatted pull out sort of couch. I heard a guy call them a zipper couch, but then I could never find blueprints or anything. And it turns out that's not what they're called. So that explains that.
There, doing like a taller, really skinny room closet kind of a thing.
And then the fridge.
Probably have some, I'm assuming probably going to be storage on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were able to kind of get some things ironed out. Now we know that. We got to figure out we're going to run propane lines like to the fridge here, the oven. Was looking into hot water tank heaters and stuff. And as far as tankless, there are RV specific, so that means they can run off a 12 volt, and they cost about the same as like you would for your house or your cabin, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So
that's pretty much, we ironed all that out today, and so it's like 8:30, I think.
Yeah.
No, 8:16. And we are going to just pack it up here and head home.
Gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Love to keep burning the candle, but gotta get things set up for tomorrow, etc.
Yep. Okay. Well, we'll see you next time.
Shalom.